Let's talk about the PS4, ladies and gentlemen. Let's talk about the PS4. So great system. It's selling like gangbusters. Of course, that's all you can buy with the fact that you can't buy a PS5. But the PS4 apparently has a problem where if you allow the CMOS battery to die, and this is not something that you can control. This is something that is just gonna happen. The battery is gonna die out on that, just like it will die off in a motherboard or anything else, especially like the Sega Saturn. Y'all know about the Sega Saturn with that battery. Just forget about it. So it appears that if this battery ends up dying, then even though you have these games downloaded on your system, digital or physical, you could potentially have a brick in your house. You will not be able to access those games at all until you replace that battery and reconnect your PlayStation to the PlayStation Network. So what are we talking about here? Let's go ahead and go straight into the article. PlayStation 4 repeatedly has an error that can result in PlayStation players losing all of their games. According to data miners, the PS4 has an error when the PS4 CMOS battery dies. Error CE 34878-0. That renders all PS4 digital titles unusable without a server connection. The error also pulls the plug on disc playback. As a result, if you can't connect to the PSN, the error could render all of your games useless, both digital and physical, completely useless. That's a big issue. Like, really, are you serious? You have created a ecosystem to where if the battery dies, you lose access to all your games. Does that make any sense to you? Unfortunately, that's what's happening right now. So the word of the error comes the way of Does It Play and Lance McDonald, the latter of which reveals the error is because trophies on PS4 requires the console's internal system clock to be correct. It requires this to prevent players from changing their PS4 date and time to make it look like they got trophies earlier or later than they actually did. And as they note, this means that if your PS4 clock battery dies, all of your games die as well until you connect to the PSN network. That's a big deal. I mean, you can't do anything until you open up the PS4 and put a new battery in there. Now, not everybody is able to open up their PS4 or they don't want to. They don't want to ruin it. But I mean, I guess if you lose all access to your games, you don't have much choice. You're going to have to do something, else you don't have access to it anyways, right? Pretty pathetic. This is really only a problem if PSN ever goes away. Interestingly enough, y'all know the PS3, the PSP, the PS Vita, the stores, the report, nothing official from Sony, but the reports say that they are closing those stores. You won't be able to access any of the games that you have purchased from the PlayStation Store once they shut it down, which is absolutely unfortunate and ridiculous. And of course, if they find a solution, I haven't even seen that part of the article yet. There's a report out there that PS5 might actually become backwards compatible with PS3, PS2, PS1 games. And if that's the case, that's great. But what's the catch? You know, you're not going to get this for free. Knowing Sony, knowing the video game industry as a whole, you're going to pay for it. You'll probably have to re-download the games. And it's not like, you know, they're going to go off of your PlayStation Store history. You're going to be paying again for these games, which that's just my guess. I could be wrong, but like, come on now. Sony's here in the game to make money while entertaining their fans. They're not there to just give things away for free. Y'all know this. There's a good chance your PS4 CMOS battery will eventually die. In fact, it's basically inevitable because the batteries, what they do what they gotta do and then they die. However, it's hard to imagine a future where PSN doesn't exist. However, when and if that future arrives, this will be a huge problem. Though thankfully it can be fixed, and it can also be avoided completely with a jailbroken console. Interesting, isn't it? So if you jailbreak your console, it's not gonna be a problem. But if you just keep it vanilla, you don't modify it or anything like that, once that battery dies, it's donezo. Shameful. Absolutely shameful. That being said, while it's unlikely this puzzling engineering decision will come to haunt PlayStation players, the thought of it is enough to have them worry and outrage. And of course, you have everyone's opinion on that on Twitter, tweeting about this issue. Of course, Sony has yet to comment on this situation, and of course, they don't really care. They're focused on the PS5 right now. At least They should be focused on the PS5 right now. What do you think, ladies and gentlemen, about this entire situation with the fact that the PS4, if that CMOS battery dies, which to be honest, CMOS batteries can last a very long time. In fact, like by the time you're done with the PS4, that battery's still going to be good for another couple years. I think the biggest thing is that you turn it on, you use it for a little bit, turn it off. I'm not certain if those batteries aren't rechargeable. It's just like the more you normally use it, the longer they last. But if you have it sit, do nothing, they die a little bit faster. So something to think about, ladies and gentlemen. That's an interesting discovery, and just leave your comments down below. What do you think?